Jim Bishop, it's so exciting to talk to you about this wonderful local-owned radio station that you have here. I found out about it while I was teaching in the area. I used to be the engineer of the station at college. Tell people a little bit about it, because you broadcast to the community directly.
Thank you. It's a community radio station, of course. Our heart's in the community, and the station itself is about 52 years old this year. And we've been serving the community all that long. And the thing I like about what we're doing is a community radio station is the heart of the community. We're at the wreck site when we tell people they have to detour that because there's been an accident there. We're the blood drive units when they need blood. We're at the communities that are having the ham suppers, chicken pot pies, and those kind of things to help people raise money. We're at United Way events. That's what community radio is all about. We're the birthday club, with people having birthdays and anniversaries. That's what community radio is all about. That's what we enjoy about what we're doing. Been doing that way. The station's been here 52 years. I've been doing it about 35 years, and do the morning show. Love every minute of it, and reach out to the community. The community loves us, we think, and we love the community.
I'd love for you to talk about the morning show, because I've heard people setting know if they're late for work based on where you are in the show. Would you talk about that a minute?
Yes, I do get that from time to time. We do certain things, the news hour, news time, the sports event, what I'm doing with the community calendar, or those kind of things. People engage their time about what time sports comes on, say it's 6:25. They know they better be getting out of the shower at that time, or they're running late, or they better be heading toward the clothes closet to get their clothes at a certain time, or they're running late. So they base their morning activities based on what we're doing on the morning show. And I like to hear that. Of course, people are in the cars by a certain time. If they're not in the car by the time we do the first sheriff's report, then they're running late. So we know they're gauging their time based on what we're doing in the mornings. And we keep the morning, the 3 hours, filled up with different activities so folks can gauge their time. They can sit back and relax, a cup of coffee, and enjoy the news of the morning. So it's a fun time to be a part of a great community like ours.
And this is real local news, speaking to the community directly. That's what I love about this.
Yes, that fact, one of the things, the strengths about what we do here is what we call the Call Around News Report. We do every morning from 7 until 8 o'clock. We started doing that, my predecessor started that before I even came, where we call the Sheriff's Department every morning, a little after 7 o'clock. We get all the arrest records of what the breaking and enters were. He gives a full report on the arrests. They would check with 911 communications. They tell us the calls they had, where the fires were, or how many calls they got with fires and wrecks. Then we check with various fire departments around the area if they had any fire calls, or maybe they had a wreck somewhere they had to cover. So we cover the county from Lake Lure with the security gate up at Fairfield Mountains all the way to Cliffside, which is a pretty wide county. And we get those various reports from the fire chiefs or the workers within the fire department. And they keep us posted every day. And some days there's nothing going on, so they'll tell us, well, Mr. Bob Jones is having a birthday coming up today, or my church is having a potluck supper Sunday night. But if there's news, they'll tell us there was a wreck over on whatever road it was, and there may be an injury, or nobody got hurt, those kind of things. And people like to stay on top of that. They like to know what's happening around the community. And one of the best ways to do that is what we're doing with that community call around news.
I love that. And also I hear from people that they get safety tips around this and awareness of how to watch out for stuff directly from the fire chief, the police department, and others.
That is exactly right. And a lot of things happen, particularly when things are really dry. The police, the fire department people can tell us, cautious about fires, how to avoid the blazes, campfires, and those kind of things. And there are a lot of scams that are happening, and the sheriff and the police departments can tell us what to watch for. We get those suspicious calls, and they cater to the seniors, citizens a lot of times, and they're unsure about who it is. So we try to caution them a lot, and the sheriff does a good job of doing this and telling us this is what they're doing, this is how they're approaching you. So please be aware of that. If you hear that kind of call, don't give them any information. Don't give them your bank number. Don't give them your social security number. Don't give them anything if you don't know who it is specifically. So we're able to help that a lot of time. And along with that same kind of thing, our close relationship with the Chamber of Commerce, we let folks know where those opportunities, how the county is growing. And of course, good news, in the past 2 or 3 years, we've had a great growth spurt here, and we're happy about that. So we're able to encourage our listeners with that. We have the chairman on, the director of the chamber on quite a bit, give us that good news. So hopefully it sparks people up. One other thing I think we do as a community radio station, every Monday morning, we have the director of the job market here, and we call him. He gives us where the jobs are, what jobs are available, how much they pay for starting pay, what they require. So we have about a 5-10 minute report every morning from that office, and people know, well, they're hiring today. I can go out and get that job. So any of those kind of things we can do, it just sort of keeps us happy about our job and responsibility as a radio station.
I'm also a ham operator, so I want to know a little bit of the technical stuff that goes on here, because you've got some great vintage equipment along with some new tech in there, and it's all still working away. So would you talk a little bit about the technical aspect of us?
Well, we've come a long way, of course, in the past 30 years years ago, and we still have some in our studio back there for conversation. We have those old cart machines. We used to stick it look like an 8-track tape, but it's really a cartridge. And all the commercials used to be recorded on those. We'd stick them in those and have 3 of them together. And that's where the commercials were, the opening of a program on those carts. We still have one back there, and we still have a cassette player back there. And we occasionally will use that. A phone call come in, we have to quickly insert a cassette. We can put that and dub it off into the computer. So we have those. We keep a file back there. As you go back into what we call the Blue Room, you'll see a collection of 45s that used to be played on turntables years ago. Now everything's on the CD or on the computer. And we have guests come in from school sometime to look us over, and I'll pull out one of those 45s, and I said, you know what that is? They said, well, it looks like a big CD. They don't know what a 45 is. And of course, all of us at radio grew up playing those 45s or those long play albums. We still keep some for nostalgia's sake here. But everything we do now basically is on computer. We plug it into the computer. We do our commercials straight into the computer. And we have what we call the Phantom. It's called the Phantom. And Lou, our office manager, puts all those things in. It pops up on the screen when we're doing a show in the Blue Room. We know exactly what's coming up next, and we can pause it to go to the next commercial or the next program. If the news is coming up, we know what that is. So it's come a long way from everything being on cart machine and cassette to working off a computer.
And the broadcast power is 1,000 watts, is that correct? And AM, FM?
1,000 watts on the AM, and we have an FM now, 100.9 FM. That has been a really great thing for us. People love the FM. We got a much clearer signal than the AM does, although there are those folks who still can't pull away from the AM signal. They've been on it for so long, but say, I like the AM better. Then those folks love that quality stereo sound with the FM. So we fondly say you get the best of both worlds. You get AM 590 or 100.9 FM. Plus, our locally produced shows we stream on the World Wide Web. We don't stream the music because we don't pay those royalty fees, and we don't, those locally produced things like high school football Friday night, we stream that. So we have an opportunity for them to pick us up 3 different ways.
And is the antenna right here on site?
No, actually the antenna is away from here. As the crow flies, it's probably maybe a half a mile. But by car, it's probably 3.5 miles. It's way up on the hillside, out in the pasture, full pasture. It's been out there since the station went to 1,000 watts. It started out 52 years ago, at 250 watts at 1520. And the antenna, the tower was in the backyard here in the radio station. So as Charles increased it to 500, he moved it out to another location, built a taller tower, and then we went up to 1,000 watts. So it's been out there ever since. But it's you have to drive to it to get to it, but it's been served us well.
Excellent. How can they learn more about this wonderful station?
Well, if they're local, they can certainly tune in to 100.9 FM, AM 590. Look us up on our website at www.wcab59.com. And we're affiliated, of course, with ABC News and several other sources, Tar Heel Sports Network, and of course, and we have those contacts in there as well. You can click on those and get information from them. But be sure to tune us in anytime you're in the area, or if you want to give us a call anytime, you can reach us at 828-287-3356, and we'll look forward to seeing you.
And if they wanted to advertise, how would they contact you?
Thank you for asking that question. If they can advertise, it would be a smart decision on their part, because we reach a lot of people. Contact my sales lady, Tracy, at the same number, 287-3356, or contact me at 287-3356. And either one of us will be glad to follow up with that. We have several packages, several proposals that we'd like to give to you, offer you an opportunity to tie in with this, because the market is tremendous, and the market is growing right now with all the new folks moving in. One of the things I might say in retrospect about the listenership is it's growing all the time, and we have a lot of folks that moved in here from somewhere else. Like a lot of folks moved in here from the north and decided to retire here. And I'm always fascinated when I'm in the grocery store somewhere and they will recognize my voice. They'll say, "Aren't you on the radio in the mornings?" I say, "I am." And they'll be maybe from Wisconsin or up New York, somewhere. They'll say, "Oh, I love that station. I love the way you people talk down here. And I love that local news you're giving." So we have fun with that, and so we found that folks from somewhere else, even though they're not from here, love what we do in Rutherford County.
Outstanding. Thanks so much for your time, Jim.
Thank you.